lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome, everybody, into Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the Elite Cup Racing NextGen Series take on the World of Tanks 180 from just outside of St. Louis here in Madison, Illinois. We got several drivers who are looking to make an impact, most notably, man who's been sitting on the sidelines when it comes to qualifying, and that is Travis Gilbert. Got his suspension lifted a couple weeks ago, but was not able to make the races. First race here, and right now he is sitting provisionally on the pole at the moment. But before we get into this week, let's go back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, where Kyle Diaz was able to bring home the victory. Kane Lee up into second. And then we also had Tyler Burden back there in P3. And that's kind of shake up the point standings just a little bit, as it is getting a little foggy here in St. Louis here. But let's take a look at the points before we get going. Adam Bowden took the points lead with 586. Kyle Diaz moves up a couple spots after the win last week to a 581. Burdick drops a couple spots, still tied with second with 581 as well. Then you go back to John Osborne, Kane Lee. They round out that top five. Switching on over to the team standings here. Revolution Motorsports up there with 512. Aeons Motorsports with 505. 213 Motorsports with 436. Southern Alliance Racing 420. Doug DeNice with 408. Gone Wrong Racing 407. And 285 for Wildman Racing. So that is where they're going to start tonight. But where will they finish? Let's see who's out on tracks. Take a beautiful look here of Worldwide Technology Raceway. And just one of the weirder shaped tracks. It's almost shaped like an egg. 1 and 2 are going to be a little tighter of a corner, whereas 3 and 4 you can kind of carry a little bit more speed through there. Most dangerous spot you're going to see out on the track is probably going to be coming out of turn 2. When they head down that backstretch, there is an opening there, and it kind of comes out of nowhere and tries to grab you sometimes. And that is what they're going to be having to deal with a little bit tonight, as looks like we got almost everybody rolling here. Oop. Well, not sure what happened at the moment. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Let's get this thing party started here. Travis Gilbert is going to be on the pole. Hey McDonald in second. Tyler Burton, Brian McCall make up row 2. Row 3, Kyle Diaz, Dwayne Furtick, Michael Carter, John Osborne make up row 4. Row 5, Kane Lee and Doug Denise. We got Robert Roth and Kent Mueller. Kent Mueller actually sponsored this race, so good luck to the number 5 machine there. And we got Bradley Rivers, Derek Fulton, Jeff No, Anthony Lundy in row 8. Row 9, Eric Maggette and Adam Boughton. Pete Walsh, Christopher Roth, and 17 South bring up the field as this pace car is about ready to turn to the left. And we get set to set these drivers free. And here we go. Travis Gilbert going to lead them on down here. Get to that Geico restart zone, and he is down and away. Tay McDonald stays right with him on that outside lane, and Tay's going to take the lead headed into turn number 1. And we are off and racing here at Gateway. Travis Gilbert slides up behind McDonald, Ryan McCall, and Tyler Burden side by side. Dwayne Furtick with Kyle Diaz right with him as well. These guys are going to have to kind of work around this egg-shaped track, as I was saying. It's kind of a little more difficult tracks to kind of figure out because you can't drive the corners the same. You can't really settle into a groove, as Tay McDonald is pulling away here on lap 2, just driving a little bit quicker than Travis Gilbert. They've got almost 3/4 of a second gap back to Ryan McCall. And they are running a 10th faster per lap for everybody behind them. They did have an off week for the Memorial Day holiday, and then they get back in it and are at Gateway here. Travis Gilbert goes to the inside, makes that pass. I think that's probably where you're going to see most of the passes happen here on this track. He's going to be coming down that front straightaway, because they're able to maintain more of the speed they have going through 3 and 4 than 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is a couple kind of tight turns. The other thing is 1 and 2 has 11 degrees banking versus 3 and 4 having 9. So one interesting fact here, though, about Gateway: the fastest lap record. As you see, Travis Gilbert having a little connection issues there. The fastest lap on this oval, I don't know that I would try and do it, was Joseph Newgarden, winner of the two-time winner of the Indianapolis 500. First guy to go back-to-back there. He did it in a DW12 back in 2017 with a 24.63 second lap time. You guys aren't going to come anywhere close to that, but even with the lap times these guys are running, it is going to be pretty quick here. I mean, 144 laps at 33, 34 seconds a lap goes by pretty quickly here. Go back in the field, see what we can see here. Kane Lee right behind last week's winner, Kyle Diaz. Got John Osborne in the 81 Chevy, trying to make his way, stay inside the top 10. He's running P10 right now. Points leader Adam Bowden in the 94 Chevy. Running up 2 spots, running P16 at the moment. Anthony Ludi, Chris Ross, Eric Maggette, Pete Walsh, and 17 South. ABB National Guard 88 machine. Travis Gilbert still leading the race. Out by 3/4 of a second here. Everybody's pretty much single file. One thing we haven't talked about is fuel mileage. They've got 70% fuel in those next-gen rides. They are going to probably be pitting anywhere between lap 40 and 50. I'm going to say closer to the lap 50 mark is when we're going to see these guys come down pit road if we have green flag pit stops. Ten laps in, Gilbert with the lead. Going to take his first pole and try and extend it here to a victory. I made the remark last week, I believe, looking at the drivers who sat on the pole versus the winners. I don't think we've had a single one. Still have not had a single pole setter win a race here in the ECR Next Gen series here. We'll see if Gilbert can take that to task here. He does have Vet to Track on this 22 Ford. Vet to Track is one of their sponsors here. Well, they're kind of spread out. Let's see if we can get you some more information on Vet to Track. Vet to Track takes pride in being different. That's what set us apart. Only our commitment to empowering veterans, but the unique approach we embrace to make a meaningful impact. Vet to Track operates with no paid staff. Every effort is a labor of love, driven by genuine desire to make a difference in the lives of veterans. Vet to Track operates on a mission, not a profit motive. Every dollar donated goes back into creating more opportunities for veterans focused on impact and empowerment, not financial gain. Vet to Track creates opportunities for hands-on experiences, bringing veterans to the heart of the action through initiatives like Pit Crew Experience, Motorcycle Track Days, crafting unique and empowering experience from the exhilaration of high-speed racing to the camaraderie built into the pit crew. We provide veterans with experience that goes beyond the ordinary. Our program is designed to accommodate various skill levels, making Vet to Track accessible to everyone. Join us on this incredible journey where every ride is a step towards positive change. Will you join with us and be a supporter? Visit www.vet2track.org and help us support those who have given so much for us all. Honoring our heroes, PTSD awareness, battling PTSD one lap at a time, and supporting the veterans. So that is definitely something we can take to heart here, as we can see the gap back to Tay McDonald growing ever so slightly here. Ooh, Tay McDonald into that outside wall. Usually see that happening mostly kind of on that backstretch because of 1 and 2 and how tight they are going through the corners there. Ryan McCall back in third in the rapid fire pizza machine. The Demon, Tyler Burton, down 1 spot, running P4 right now. Dwayne Furtick up 1 spot, running that Best Buy 51 Chevy inside the top 5. Michael Carter up 1. Kane Lee also up 1. Kyle Diaz looks like he might be saving some tires, trying to make this run a little bit longer than some of the other guys in front of him. Bradley Rivers up a couple spots as well. Kent Mueller seems to be happy in that 5 Chevy, as he has got that DHL machine rolling through here. Basically has a half second in front, half second in back. No real trouble around him, as he's starting to kind of close in here on Bradley Rivers. Rivers still running the patriotic paint scheme from last week. See what other action we have on track. The 94 machine is moving in the right direction, running P15 now, up 3 spots. Christopher Roth also up a couple spots. And he gets us Ford Performance number 62. Come back up towards the front here, as Travis Gilbert still has almost a second lead. 19 laps into 144. Tay McDonald in second. Ryan McCall is getting basically a rear view mirror full of the 06 machine, as you just see how close Tyler Burton gets into the corner here. Like 17 South had a little issue there, went off the track, got back rolling here, but he is basically a half lap down at the moment. A little over a half lap down, as Gilbert has reeled him in pretty quickly here after that little mistake there. The lap traffic will come into play in the next 5 to 10 laps here. Got a few more laps than that on this fuel run, so definitely will play a part here. Preston, Iowa. Tay McDonald's going to have an opportunity to get a hometown win in a couple weeks on June 15th as they head to Iowa Speedway. Ryan McCall is definitely getting all he can here of Tyler Burton. Kyle Diaz looking to the inside of Doug Denise. Ooh, off the wall goes that 40 machine. Luckily, Kyle Diaz backed out just enough to give him some room to get by. 25 laps in, and we are single filed out pretty heavily here. Probably going to see some drivers start to slide around just a little bit. Let's see if we can bring up the weather here. Yeah, track temp 76 degrees, so not really going anywhere, going to cool off as the night goes on. So definitely nothing really to worry about here. Like Bowden's going to look like he was going to go to the inside of Jeff No, just didn't quite have enough speed to get there. That Red Bull 48 Chevy is going to go to the inside of Robert Roth. Driving down the backstretch, still on the inside, but he has lost all momentum as he got out of line. That's going to allow the 94 of Adam Bowden to get to the high side. And if he's going to be able to stay in line with like the 15 of Bradley Rivers, he should be able to get by that 48 machine, unless No can get some more power to the wheels of that ride there. Wings do not help in racing. So Robert Roth was able to take advantage of the little bit of battling going on behind him, has almost a half-second lead. But it looks like tires are starting to kind of go away here as everybody's sliding around just a little bit. We're at Tyler Gilbert, Tay McDonald getting a little bit closer to battle. Ryan McCall, Tyler Burden right on each other's tails. Burden goes down to the inside, going to make the pass on McCall. And he will complete it, but you can just see how tight those turns are. See if we can drive on board here. With the Demon. This is coming down the backstretch. Oh, somebody up into the wall almost. Maybe the 38 of Eric Maggette. You can just see how these corners are shaping up here with that track map on that right-hand side of your screen here. You're heading into 3 and 4 now. And you just see how much tighter this corner is coming down to. And if we have green flag pit stops, that is definitely something you're going to want to watch as well, as entry into pit lane is definitely not a foregone conclusion. As you'll see here, let's see if we can get a little bit different camera angle here. You're going to have to come down on that access road is going to be the way to get there. So that is going to slow you down significantly versus being out on that racetrack. So you want to get as many green flag laps as you can on a fuel run here. Here they go down the backstretch one more time. You can see how there's that opening in the middle of the backstretch. That is going to get a little more hectic as these tires wear. You'll see them slide up the track a little bit more. And if they start chasing it, they can chase it right into that opening on that backstretch. So Gilbert, McDonald, Burden, McCall, Carter make up the top 5. Basically the same way it was after qualifying. Carter's the only driver who's up a couple spots here. As Kyle Diaz, I said before, it looks like he's trying to maybe save some tires, save some fuel, make this first green flag run last as long as he can. And if this does stay green, you should see that 26 Chevy start to make his way kind of towards the front. Let's see what's going on towards the back here. Looks like Rivers is going to go to the inside of Roth. Roth and Rivers side by side. Down the backstretch they go. Rivers drives it in deep. Roth checks out just a little bit here as he slides in behind Rivers. Jeff No back there as well. Like he's been able to get by a few drivers here. Derek Fulton in that 2 machine. Making his way around the track as Adam Boughton behind him. Ooh, looks like he got a little bit loose there as his tires hit those rumble strips. You're going to see 94 go to the inside with a, looks like an Arnold Palmer machine there. Half and half. A little mistake there by the 2 Ford of Derek Fulton. And that allows Adam Moten to get by. So Travis Gilbert still out in front, 40 laps in. Hey, McDonald hanging on to second. Tyler Burden third. McCall losing a little bit of ground there. John Osborne able to take advantage of a little slip up there by Carter and Kane and winds up in P5. Nobody really behind him. I think everybody's able to get by the lap car there. .38 losing a bit of speed here. 17 South looks like he's also, looks like he checked out. He is done. Trying to find some action out on the track. These guys have pretty much single filed out most of the race here. While they do that, let's see what we can see here. Well, it looks like they raced here once before, back in 2023, and Tay McDonald was able to bring home the victory. He led 88 laps. Ryan McCall was second, and Tyler Burton was third. So definitely still putting on a show here tonight. Only difference is last season, I don't see. Yeah, Gilbert was not there last season, so ran 145 laps, 8 lead changes. There he goes again. So yeah, South had issues, so he elected to park it. He'll be back next week for the Music City 200 at Nashville Super Speedway. It's something about maybe trying to join us up in the booth in a couple weeks. I believe when you guys go to Watkins Glen, I believe, on the 22nd. So we'll see if he still wants to jump up here and provide some commentary on this action here. The first driver who came down pit lane is going to be that 94 Chevy of Adam Bowden. Came down on lap 42. Michael Carter in this time by. Looks like Tay McDonald's going to pull down and make that left-hand turn down pit lane. So we got Gilbert leading, Burton, McCall, Osborne, Kane Lee now inside that top 5. Dwayne Furtick hits from P6. Several drivers were going to try and make it to that lap 50 mark, and like everybody pretty much will. Make it to lap 50, you can pretty much just split the race into 3s here. So we'll hang out. We'll be with you through all of these green flag pit stops, and we'll get take a little break and then be right back at it one more time. Burden coming in. So you look at just how slow you have to go. He's already down to less than 100 miles an hour versus everybody else out on track who's still up over 100. Ryan McCall coming in as well. Looks like, well, John Osborne stayed out on track, so he's going to try and lead that lap, and he'll do just that. That 81 Chevy. Definitely can do that. YouTube chat wants to say hi to Grandpa DP Easton, St. Louis hometown native. We got Bradley Rivers, Kent Mueller, and looks like Derek Fulton are the only drivers who have not hit pit lane yet. I imagine you're going to see those drivers coming down probably this lap. You don't want to let the drivers on the fresh tires go too many laps before you jump in and hit the fresh tires for yourself. This goes to show how slow that pit lane is. I mean, not even pit lane. Pit lane doesn't start till you basically get inside the wall there. If I heard racetrack right. Sounded like we're going to have somebody coming down pit lane for a speeding penalty. Oh, and we are under caution. We are under caution on lap 54 here. Let's see what happened. Oh. You can drift around Portland, but you can't drift around Worldwide Technology. Heck of a job, though, to save it there. But you get those fresh tires, and that tends to be what happens. You can see here, tries to get off, tries to, but he was going to go down right down pit lane. He keeps it out of pit lane, and he keeps it off the wall. So heck of a job there by Jeff No, but still, I don't know that that's going to be exactly what looks like the 59 of Robert Roth. I believe he was trying to serve a black flag for speeding. So he was headed down pit lane right when that caution came out. So I don't know if it's going to give him the all clear, if he's going to have to try and pit again, because I believe it came out before he entered pit lane. He was down on that access road, but I don't believe he made it. So with that being said, we'll step aside. We'll go picture in picture. You won't miss anything. We'll let you hear from the sponsors here, and then we'll get back to Green Flag Racing as they sort this one out here just outside of St. Louis in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. All right, we are back getting ready to get under that green flag action. Pit stops were made. Mistakes were made as well. Ryan McCall, John Osborne going to lead them on down to the green flag here. McCall with the button, hit that Geico restart zone, and he is down and away. It's a pretty good jump there. Has Tyler Burton right behind him. John Osborne down on that inside lane. The outside lane has the advantage headed into turn one. Dwayne Furtick back there as well, trying to find a spot to be as he slides up into P4. Adam Bowden up there, 13 spots, and here they go around right behind him. Christopher Roth sideways on the track. And they are still green flag racing. We'll go back and take a look and see what happened here. Tyler Burton down to the inside as they're going to battle for the lead. So McCall, Burton, Osborne, Furtick, Michael, Carter, and let's go back and take a look here and see what happened on this restart, as it looks like Kyle Diaz is going to try and make a run. But let's take a look, see what happened here to Christopher Roth on this restart here. Oh, 29. Tay McDonald just turns him sideways. Drifted up and just turned him. Didn't bring out a caution, though. That is one thing that is interesting, I'll say. Not sure what exactly happened to Tyler Gilbert. Maybe he got a penalty. But he has a lap down, so trouble for the pole setter here as Burton continues to lead now, as we are back under green flag conditions here. Ryan McCall, Osborne, Furtick. Well, it looks like Rivers and Kane Lee are going side by side. Still side by side. Rivers on the bottom, Lee on the high side. A. McDonald also battling back here just outside the top 10. Looking to make his way back inside of it. Ever closer to that halfway mark. A. McDonald up on the high side. Anthony Ludi back there in the 12 Toyota. I believe he's running the only Toyota in the field. Three wide just in front of him. Dwayne Furtick, Kyle Diaz. It looked like Adam Fountain was there too. So almost three wide. Looks like Diaz backed out of it just a little bit. Going to let them roll through. John Osborne has a run on the 90 of Ryan McCall. Just not quite enough speed to get through there. Like he was closing in right before they went into turn number 3 there, but just not enough speed to get by. 66 laps complete. Like Diaz is able to get by Furtick. Rivers and Tay McDonald are now side by side. Rivers is stuck down on that bottom side. I don't know if that's where he wants to be, but he seems to be running fairly decent down there. Probably going to tear up his tires a little bit more than running a little bit higher on the line, but he's been able to make it work. and kind of hold his position. He's up just inside that top 10, running P10 right now. That's Doug Denise and Anthony Ludi behind him. It looks like he will be able to slide up in front of the 40 machine. Whoa, the 40 machine of Doug Denise is all over the track, not where he wanted to be. Anthony Ludi's going to be able to get by. Doug's going to get that 40 machine ready to roll one more time as he's got it, looks like, back under control. 48 of Jeff No making his way back inside the top 13 at the moment. Tay McDonald goes from the high side to the low side. Going to try and get a run on Kane Lee there. Bradley Rivers kind of stuck in the middle, still in the way just a bit. Anthony Ludi was able to, is closing in on Adam Boughton. Rivers and Tay McDonald still battling. Looks like Travis Gilbert was able to make it back to the first car a lap down, so he wants to see one of those yellow flags so he can get back on the lead lap and begin racing for the race win here. Couple more laps and we will be halfway in the World of Tanks 180. Sponsored by the number 5 machine here. Kent Mueller was able to put down the funds and get us up here in the booth. Hey, McDonald running P9 now. Looking at the drivers inside the top 10, all of them pitted basically late 40s there and a couple early 50s as far as lap goes, except for the driver running P10. He pitted on lap 42. He was the first car down pit lane, and he is kind of fighting that car. He was running inside the top 5 when we took the green flag after that caution, but has since faded back to P10. He's going to have a little bit of work to do, but maybe he has a different strategy and is getting the most out of his car for the moment. We know almost all the other drivers only have to pit one more time. Maybe Adam felt that he had to come down pit road a little bit earlier and is going to have to stretch the second run a little bit longer than some of the other drivers. So we'll see what happens here as the 06 machine continues to lead and pull away. He's almost out to a 2-second lead as he's almost to the start-finish line before Ryan McCall gets onto the front stretch. Don Osborne floats the car a little high coming out of 1 and 2. Like Bradley Rivers is going to go to the inside of Dwayne Burdick. U.S. Army and Best Buy machines. Tay McDonald running P9 right now. Well, you know Tay has a fast 29 Ford there, but he's going to have to play his cars just right as he drives the 51 up the track just a little bit here. Right now, Tay McDonald is the highest place driver for Gone Wrong Racing. They definitely had a pretty good shot to win this race with Travis Gilbert and Tay McDonald running up into the front there, but now it looks like it has turned over to Aeons Motorsports as they are running 1-2 right now. 1-2-3. Like Michael Carter in the 8 machine is the highest running driver for Revolution Motorsports. We are over halfway through the race here. Go ahead and do a quick little rundown. Tyler Burden running inside the top 5 all night. Took over after the first caution. Ryan McCall in the rapid fire 90 Chevy also was running up front all night. Don Osborne stayed out a little bit later, pitted on lap 52, took advantage and comes into the race running P3 now. Michael Carter, Jacksonville, Alabama, number 8 Chevy is it running P4 for Revolution Motorsports, like I said. And we got Kyle Diaz. Aeons Motorsports. So definitely a good day if you are on that race team. Kane Lee for Revolution Motorsports, the 91 Ally Bank machine. Bradley Rivers. Another Aeon Motorsports driver, Tay McDonald, running P8. Dwayne Furtick, Best Buy Chevrolet Camaro 51 machine. Down 3 spots, but still top 3 in the point standings. Current points leader, 94 machine, 5-time ECR Cup Series champion. Running inside the top 10. Pitted early, and looks like he's getting to about where he pitted last time, so we'll see if he's going to stay out a little bit longer, try and stretch this second run and make it make a run when it counts later in the race. Just behind them, though, you have Anthony Ludi from Ohio, Doug Denise, and Jeff No. You also have our pole setter, Travis Gilbert, and having a little bit of some hardware issues here. Wound up a lap down after staying out. Didn't pit until lap 52, but caution came out, caught him a lap down, and I believe he might have even been speeding and had to come down and serve a penalty, but don't quote me on that second part as they get ready to roll through here. The 06 of Tyler Burden is going to put Christopher Roth a lap down, slide up in front of the 38 machine of Eric Maggette, getting him a couple laps down as well. So 16 drivers on the lead lap. Travis Gilbert did not want to see the 62 go a lap down, as he now is not the last car on the lead lap. So he will have to try and make it past the 62 machine, but it looks like the 62 got a little loose there coming out of 4, went down to the inside and tried to stay out of the way. Ryan McCall is going to go down to the inside and make the pass. We saw these drivers make it quite a ways until they made their first green flag pit stop, and after that is when a little bit of calamity happened. You have those fresh tires that don't have that aren't warm, and you go out and you try and drive them like you were just driving the ones that had been moored in for 50 plus laps. You get a little slick and you get on the throttle a little too soon, or the brakes, and around you go, and that's exactly what happened here for the first caution that came out. On the ensuing restart, Christopher Roth, I think Christopher Roth got turned around. Didn't bring out the caution, but still slowed everybody down, puts him a lap down. Like the 81 machine is going down just a little bit. Might be thinking about when they're going to make their next pit stop. You know they can go 50 laps on a fuel run, at least 50 laps. Some of the drivers didn't pit until 53, so should be able to make it to the end here in a few more laps. So we'll see if they're going to try and make the third run the longest or the shortest here, and what strategy is going to come into play when they get rolling there. But right now it is all the demon, Tyler Burton. That 06 machine, he's got over a 3.5 second lead. Brian McCall back in second. Gonna have his hands full with John Osborne if Osborne can close in. About half a second gap there, but they are well clear of the driver in third. That is Michael Carter. Michael Carter's going to have his hands full not only with Kane Lee, but Bradley Rivers, Tay McDonald, and Kyle Diaz are all hanging there pretty quickly. Christopher Roth is a lap car in the middle, so see if Diaz can get by and start to close in on that next group up in front. That pack of four are the drivers you're going to be seeing make some passes here as Bradley Rivers pulls out, goes down to the bottom, going to try and get a run on Kane Lee, but nothing doing there. Kane Lee pulls down and tries to do the exact same thing to Michael Carter. Michael Carter was able to get that number 8 machine rolling a little bit faster out of the corner, and Kane Lee had to check up just a touch. So that is where they are right now for the top 5. Tay McDonald trying to get back up towards the front. After pit strategy had him caught towards the back of the field, but he's able to work his way through the field. Right now sitting P7 here with just north of 50 laps to go as everybody scatters like a shotgun. Kane Lee gets by Michael Carter. Tay McDonald also by. Bradley Rivers going to go by as well. Kyle Diaz looks like he's going to get by. A little hit in the wall for Michael Carter, and that is going to basically push him towards the back. And it looks like the lap car of Christopher Roth is still hanging around here. Pete Walsh had an incident, went off track just a little bit. Caution didn't come out. But we are still racing, but he is getting closer and closer. Michael Carter battling with Kyle Diaz down the front stretch. Diaz slides up in front of the 8 machine and is going to take that spot away. So as they are doing that, let's see if we can get a good view here of the rapid fire pizza machine. Go ahead and talk about the Rapid Fire Pizza sponsor here. These guys not only sponsor the race, but they also are the white flag sponsor. So we'll see if we can get that call for them as well. First Rapid Fire Pizza opened its doors in 2015 in Dayton, Ohio. The idea was simple: make delicious, fast, and affordable pizza. Now in 25 cities across the country, customers love the fresh taste, the speed, and the ability to create their own perfect pizza with over 35 different toppings and sauces. Go to www.rapidfirepizza.com for a location near you. So go ahead and check them out, because it looks like we're going to have our first pit stop of the second go-round here. Adam Moten brings that 94 Chevy on down to pit lane. He was the first one that came down the first time, so we'll see what he can do with the fresh tires once he gets rolling one more time. Tyler Burton, McCall, and Osborne, they all made it to at least 50, so I'm assuming they're going to stay out at least until 50. Spread it out just a little bit here as they get rolling. Else is thinking about making some pit stops. Doesn't look like it. Oh, there goes Michael Carter in. And you see Travis Gilbert making the pass there for that lucky dog spot for the moment. We'll see how long they're going to stay out. As they've stayed out, Burton has expanded that lead to almost 5 seconds. Let's take a look at the lap time history here. Well, I guess not too bad, except for a couple laps there where Burton got 0.3 of a second. See what happens here on lap 99. Not too bad. Looks like McCall is slowly hanging with him here. Who's coming in? Looks like Burdick is in. Travis Gilbert trying to get back on the lead lap. Running P11 right at the moment. He knows he's going to have to make a pit stop. Kyle Diaz down pit lane. '06 coming down. Michael Carter just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 33.40. Definitely it's going to turn up the aggression just a couple notches here as we have 40 laps left to go in the World of Tanks 180 from Worldwide Technology. McCall, Osborne, Tay McDonald, Jeff No, and Derek Bolton all still out on track. Gilbert still maintaining the lucky dog spot for the moment here. You can see Burden just in front of McCall there. McCall and Osborne. See how long they are going to stay out. They are going to definitely have the freshest tires when it comes towards the end of the race. Maybe they'll be able to use them to their advantage here. As McCall comes down, Osborne's going to inherit the lead. Osborne, Tay McDonald, Jeff No all have not made their pit stops. Tyler Burton is going to be the provisional race leader as of right now, just looking at who has made pit stops and who has not. Travis Gilbert came in, reflected he couldn't stay out any longer. Osborne still out. McDonald, no. Fulton. McDonald comes in, so we'll see when these drivers elect to make that left-hand turn and come down pit lane. It's going to be basically 34 laps left to go here. Looks like the 81 machine's coming in. We'll see if the 48's going to do it as well. Looks like 48 is. Comes in. 48 still staying out for the moment here. Jeff No still leading, has a 16.5 second gap over Tyler Burton. take a ride on board here with Tyler as he goes around the tracks. I'll be right back after this. Burton back with the lead here. Ryan McCall, though, just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 33:37. So that rapid fire pizza machine is coming, but he is in a different zip code here than Tyler Burton. Burton out by over 8 seconds at the moment. And he is closing. With every lap, he is closing, but I don't think Burton's running very hard at the moment. Osborne back there in third. Kyle Diaz, Kane Lee, Adam Boughton, Michael Carter. Michael Carter is going to get a run here on that 94 machine, going to go to the inside. Probably, not quite be able to make that pass. That inside lane, you have to check up just a little bit in order to make your way around turn number 4 there. But Carter's got that 8 moving, and he is up in front of Boughton. Hey, McDonald's going to try that, look to the inside, see if he can buy that 94 machine as well. Bradley Rivers going to the high side, almost into the little bit of a gap there. He's trying to get that 15 machine up in front of the 40 of Doug DeNice. Diaz is going to get by Kane Lee. Hey, McDonald to the inside of Carter. Side by side they go. Carter down on the up on the high side. It's going to have to give up the inside there to McDonald. Got the 22 machine there of Travis Gilbert. Gilbert is hoping for a caution with all he has. I believe he is the first. No, he's not. He needs to get one more spot in order to get that free pass if the caution were to come out. He has to get by Pete Walsh. Pete Walsh is 10 seconds in front of Gilbert, though. So it is going to be a big ask in order to get back there onto that lead lap. And it looks like and sounds like that the trend is going to continue, that pole setters will not win here in the ECR Next Gen Series. So definitely not probably what some of these drivers want to hear, but it's been that way for the whole season. Tay McDonald has a couple poles. Kyle Diaz. Travis Gilbert has a pole. I mean, people have got poles, and they have had wins, just not the same race.
So the gap between Burden and McCall is just south of 7.5 seconds. With 24 laps to go, John Osborne back in third, Kane Lee, Tay McDonald, Kyle Diaz. Travis Gilbert made up a couple spots there on track, but just needs still about 10 seconds in order to get to that lucky dog position. Like Michael Carter is going the wrong way in a hurry here as Boughton and Rivers get by. Find some action out on track. Looks like this might be one of the closest spots for action. Tay McDonald, Kane Lee. Tay McDonald trying to take away P4 from Kane Lee. McDonald down to the inside. He can get that 29.4 to make the corner. He should be good coming down the front stretch. Side by side they go. He's at the door. Let's see if he can get any closer here. Side by side still. Door-to-door action here in the ECR NextGen Series World of Tanks 180. Still side by side. He's got the bumper. Let's see if he can get clear. Hey, McDonald still trying to clear Kane Lee. Kane Lee into that outside wall almost. Had to do a little evasive driving there, but gives up P4 to Tay McDonald. Tay McDonald's going to try and close in. Has 5-second gap to the driver in front of him of John Osborne. Osborne has 1.5 to get to Ryan McCall. Ryan McCall is working that 90 Chevy as hard as he can. He is inside 7 seconds now, but the Demon is just out here cruising around. Travis Gilbert still trying to close in on Pete Walsh. It is a battle for the lucky dog position. That Milwaukee 74 machine is about 8 seconds clear of Gilbert, so sitting in a pretty good position at the moment. Ryan McCall gets by Walsh there. If John Osborne's going to be able to get by as well. Michael Carter driving through here. Down 4 spots, trying to stay inside the top 11. Would love to get to the 51 of Dwayne Furtick, get that top 10 mark, but has a little over a second to get it, and everybody seems to be just out here on a Sunday drive, even though it's Saturday night. only thing that is, whoa, Walsh and Osborne almost got next to each other a little too close there. I'd say McDonald about 5 seconds back from Osborne. Pete Walsh and the 38 machine of Eric Maggette gonna battle it out a little bit here. Travis Gilbert inside 7 seconds of Walsh, trying to get that lucky dog position. 15 laps to go here in the World of Tanks 180. Tyler Burton gets by Christopher Roth. Roth had a unlucky start to the race after getting turned after that first caution. McCall trying to close in, just not quite able to do it here as Burton continues to kind of pull away. Almost like he's seeing that gap and just trying to manage it for the moment here. Osborne just like he's pretty much content just to hang out and bring home P3. Tay McDonald quite a ways back, so those top three are pretty well set for the moment here. 13 laps to go. Looks like everybody else is just all of a sudden got spread out as well. Closest gap on track is 3/4 of a second at the moment. And that is these three drivers here. The 94 Chevy of Adam Moten, Doug Denise, and Dwayne Furtick. Still just hanging on. 10 laps to go next time by here. 06 machine just cruising here. Nobody really in front of him. Nobody really behind him. Osborne is closing in. That gap is getting smaller. The gap has pretty much stabilized to Tyler Burton. Burton's got basically a 7-second lead, but McCall and Osborne are within half a second of each other at the moment. Eight laps to go for the Sunday drive here for Tyler Burton. Kent Mueller now the first car lap down, so Travis Gilbert is pretty much left to wonder what if. He did get some bonus points for qualifying on the pole, I do believe, but The position he's going to finish in is not going to help his chances here, as he is currently running P16. Hey, McDonald trying to close in here as well. See what the lap times are showing between Osborne and McDonald. Looks like they pretty much go back and forth for the most part. Osborne gives up half a second and then gets it back a couple laps later. So nobody really going anywhere too quick as well here. Let's see. Looks like we have Bradley Rivers and Kyle Diaz kind of close on track. We got Furtick and Boughton back here battling just inside the top 10. Top 10's pretty well set for the moment. Kyle Diaz still trying to get by Bradley Rivers. Handshake lap 5 in the air. Four laps to go for Tyler Burton. Ryan McCall, John Osborne, all inside that top 3. Pretty much set to battle it out. Only battle really for the top 3 is going to be between who finishes second and third here between McCall and Osborne. Tay McDonald back there almost 6 seconds, a little over. And he is pretty well set in his position as he's got a 3-second gap back to Kane Lee. You can see McDonald about halfway down the backstretch as Kane Lee turns in. Three laps to go. Tyler Burton just wants to see the 1 to go, get that white flag, make this baby official here. Popsicle sticks in the air as we hit 2 laps to go here in the World of Tanks 180 in the ECR NextGen series. Tyler Burton coming down the backstretch. Looking for his second win here in the 2024 season. White flag is out. Brought to you by Rapid Fire Pizza. So go check them out. Read that sponsor tag earlier in the race, but Tyler Burton, half a lap to victory here. Ryan McCall doing everything he can to try and close in. Hard off the wall goes the 90 machine. Just outside of Christopher Roth. John Osborne battling back in third. But the race is over, and Tyler the Demon Burton wins at Gateway. Ryan McCall is going to hold on to second. John Osborne for third. Tay McDonald's going to come through 3 and 4, and he is going to get a top 4 finish. Kane Lee is going to round out that top 5. And heartbreak for the pole setter once again here in ECR, as he is nowhere near the top 3. Tyler's going to burn it down here. And we will get these interviews started here. We can get them up here in the booth. Hey, John, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going? Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
All right, now the broadcast can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, that was a heck of a race. Looks like you guys had it single filed out for the most part there. How was it running towards the end of those green flag stints there?
Man, I tell you what, like, I could catch my teammate. Like, y'all probably noticing, I could pull up to him, like right to him, but I just couldn't get past. It was like a bubble of air, and anything I tried to do, I would get so loose, and I don't feel like I was doing that much different. I didn't really feel like I had too much wheel in it. It's just I just couldn't get past him. Like, it was easier to do it, earlier in the run. There's a little bit more grip in the tires, but I know I was faster than Ryan on the long run, both of those last two runs there. But the harder I was trying to back off too, and then just get better runs, like have a little bit earlier entry into one and into three. But I just couldn't do anything. So I just kind of backed off and just tried to run my lines, because I got loose one time. I thought I was about to put her into the wall. But that's a very, very tough track to run. And I'm happy where we finished. Very, very happy with third. Congrats to Tyler for the win there. We had a team 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing in the broadcast. It looked like you guys kind of had it figured out there for that last stint. The caution kind of came out at a bad time for Gilbert there, but got himself a lap down. Too, so.
Yeah, well, I think he got himself a speeding penalty, either entering pit road or leaving it. I don't know which one it was, but I would find it hard to believe he had it entering, because there's such a long time before you get to the line. You got plenty of time to slow it down, so it must have been exiting pit road. But yeah, he was really bad fast. I think Tyler might have been a little bit faster than him on the long run. A lot of us were just trying to figure out like how hard you could push, where the line was, or the balance was between like, hey, I'm pushing too hard, or this is just enough. And but overall, it was a really good night. Happy where we're at, and look forward to moving to the next race.
Definitely, man. Well, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yeah, I think the team, thank Eons Motorsports. I feel like we're doing a pretty good job. I think that's Tyler's second win of the season. I know it seems like me and Ryan are battling for second a lot, and so want to thank him for just running his lines and do that, and thank Adam Kent for putting on such a good league. Thank you guys up in the booth, and thank Chubby's on the car. I love their clothing. Skies out, dies out, and the weekend has arrived. So thank my mom and dad too for always watching. Appreciate them. They are my avid followers.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on the P3 finish, and maybe we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, pal.
All right, let's see if we can get second place up here in the booth. Hey, Ryan, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
No, not too bad. It's not too bad when you get a second place, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely seemed like you were pretty fast on the little bit longer runs, but didn't seem like you had anything left there for Tyler at the end. But you came out of the pits with a huge lead, and you were able to cut it down a little bit. How was it racing out there on that last stint?
Wasn't too bad. Yeah, I really couldn't get back to Tyler. That second long run we had, he really opened it up, and I was trying to save tire, and it didn't really work. Yeah, he had such an advantage. He needed to have a mess up for me to get anywhere close. But racing, I thought, was overall good. caught some breaks. I think a couple guys in front of us had some issues during that first caution or pit run there. So, but it was good. I mean, Aeon's 1, 2, 3, so I can't complain about much.
Yeah, definitely looked like you guys had this track figured out. It is one of the more difficult tracks because the turns are completely different on both sides of the track, but you were able to take advantage here and bring home a P2. As we look forward to next week, what are your thoughts when we turn the page and go to the Music City?
I feel a little bit better about it. I mean, as long as the car hasn't changed immensely, I feel like after going through each track a couple different times, the setup is slightly different each time. I feel a little bit better about Nashville, depending on how much tire savings we have to do, as long as it's not stupid tight the entire time. But it feels good. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm just trying to crank out some good finishes here. So
Yeah, definitely get some good finishes and continue with the points going in the positive direction. Anybody else you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
definitely Rapid Fire Pizza and the main sponsor on the car. I know they do a decent amount of sponsoring through a couple of our guys on our team. And then obviously Aeon's those guys, and appreciate you for broadcasting and ECR for hosting. So it's a fun time.
Definitely, Matt. Well, congrats on the P2, and maybe we'll talk to you next week after Nashville.
Hope so.
All right, let's see if we can get Tyler down here. Hey, Tyler, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Living the dream.
Living the
Right at the
dream.
moment.
Yeah, definitely looked like you were out on a Sunday drive there on that last little stint there. Came out of the pits with a huge advantage. How was that last stint working for you?
I kind of just took it easy because there was no real reason for me to push it. I mean, I'll say that it was a good run for me because I almost spun it out because Pete. I'm not blaming him. He was just running his line, but going into the corner, I got a little too hard on the brakes because I seen myself floating into him, and just kind of overcorrected and almost spun it out. Lost a ton of ground, but a caution came out, and the timing couldn't have been any better on that.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that caution helped a few guys and hurt a couple others. You being one of the drivers that seemed to help quite a bit. But you leave Gateway with a victory. You head off to Nashville. How are your thoughts heading into the super speedway there?
I like Nashville. I've actually been a pretty big fan of Nashville for a while. I love since the Nashville Super Speedway came onto the service. Like, I didn't think I was going to be very good at it, but it seems like every time I tell people, oh, I'm not very good at it, I end up doing really, really well. So I don't know. But yeah, I usually have pretty decent luck at Nashville, so I'm pretty hopeful of putting these consistent finishes together finally after almost a third of the season in. So
yeah, you got a couple there. Last year at Nashville, you were able to bring home the victory and led 90 laps. So seems like it might be a good place for you to break the curse that I keep bringing up and probably costing you the race last week. As I said, nobody who's won the pole has been able to win the race, and that still remains true today.
I guess I just need to stop aiming for getting a pole then.
I don't know. You've done pretty well. You got, I believe, 4 of them. So you were bad fast on those hot laps there, but now you got a couple wins strung together here. Improve your position in the points. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight and head off into the weekend?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the young guys, Ryan and John, Stan. Who else am I forgetting? Jeff was a lot of fun. He raced me right there at the end because he's like, I don't want to finish a lap down, so he raced me pretty hard there at the end, and that was a lot of fun. Michael York and all those guys. I'm really excited for Stan. He posted a couple days ago that he's got some product displaying in Walmart right now. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. I would be a terrible real life race car driver, forgetting my sponsors because of ADHD and squirrels and stuff. But my mom and dad, like I said, especially my dad, for teaching me everything I know about race cars and how to drive them. The biggest tip he always gave me was, I can't teach you how to drive. You just got to go out there and do it, which was extremely frustrating growing up. But anyway, and yeah.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your race win. Maybe we'll see you in victory lane next week in Nashville as well.
Here's open.
All right, so that will do it for the interview. Let's see if we can bring up the race results real quick and go over this here. We had Tyler Burden, Ryan McCall, John Osborne, Tay McDonald with a P4 after getting caught towards the back of the pack. Kane Lee, Bradley Rivers, Kyle Diaz, Dwayne Furtick, Adam Boughton, Doug Denise. Then you got Michael Carter, Anthony Ludi. Jeff No was able to stay on the lead lap there. Kit Mueller, thanks for really sponsoring this race. Then you have Pete Walsh, Travis Gilbert with some bad luck. Derek Fulton, Christopher Roth also with a little bad luck there on that restart. Robert Roth, Eric Maggette, and 17 South will round out the field. We close the book here at Gateway. We head off down the road just a little bit to Nashville Superspeedway, where these drivers will get in the next-gen cars once again. We'll see if the curse can be broken next week. But from all the drivers of the Elite Racing Cup Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and I will see you next time.